Okay, we welcome everybody. We're just starting the webinar. Oh, we've got a few people joining already. Jade and Laurie, hi guys. Hope you're well.
Hello.
That's Susie, if you didn't know already. We'll give a couple of minutes to let everybody come in. We've got quite a few people attending as well. Jenny, thank you for joining. Hope you're well. We've got the chat box open here, so if you want to kind of ask Susie any questions, or if you even want to ask me some questions as well, please feel free to put it in the chat as we go through, and we'll do our best to answer as we go. Nicola, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us today for this lunchtime special. Hope you all got your teas and coffees or sandwiches or whatever you're doing for lunch. You just got a tea there, Susie?
Yeah, a cup of coffee. Got to. It's one of these things where no matter what I'm going to, even Dyslexia Scotland, you'll find me with either a cup of tea or a cup of coffee.
It's sometimes the only way to get through the day, though, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You've just got to keep on. Yeah, need that caffeine boost in the morning.
Yeah. We'll just give it another minute or so. Susie's got a few people that have registered. Just want to give them time to kind of join us. Here we go.
Well, they might be students, running late.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Stuart,
Yeah.
welcome. Hope you're well. Like I said, just please feel free to use the chat, even if it's just to say hello. Let us know you're there. That's absolutely fine as well. Good stuff. Okay. Well, I think we'll just make a start and let people join us as and when they can, Susie. So, yeah, welcome everybody to our OrCam Learn DSA special. I'm joined here by one of my favourite people, Susie Taylor, who's joined us at a number of events in the past and has also helped me out as well at our 80 Together event in Edinburgh. And again, thank you for that, Susie. It really, everybody really enjoyed that session. So. Hopefully we'll do a bit of the same today. So just a bit of kind of overview of what we're going to do. We're going to talk, obviously we're going to talk to Susie, talk about her experiences using the OrCam Learn DSA. She's expert. And so there you go. Susie's holding it up there. You can see. I'll also show kind of a bit of a close-up of it as well. Do a run through device, maybe a mini demonstration as well. And yeah, we're just mainly focusing on how kind of the OrCam Learn can be used to help overcome like reading and comprehension challenges and Susie's very well versed in and using the device as well, because you use it for your undergrad degree, don't you, Susie?
Yes, I do. It has just been an amazing thing that's just helped me so much with my undergraduate studies, because it reads off my computer screen, it reads off my iPad, it reads off my phone, it reads off paper. No matter where I go with my OrCam, it will read stuff for me. So it is such a great tool for learning and my life, and aiding people with reading difficulties such as mine. It's been brilliant.
Because like you said, it's a device that's used to kind of convert basically text into speech, which is a lot of individuals find easier to process and retain to memory as well. And like you said, Susie, as well, it's also you use it on digital screens, which there's not many solutions out there, if any, that I know of that can do that.
Well, I've got the scanning pen, but it only reads off paper. I've also got something called a Yodeo translation pen, but it does actually read off a screen. But being dyspraxic, I don't trust myself reading off screens much. It's like, and with the laser technology on the OrCam, I don't have to worry, because it's a case of point it over the screen, click, and it starts reading everything for me, including some of the menus, which I'm not wanting read. But hey, it's one of these things where you go like, okay, I didn't want that, but hey, it's reading it for me.
So you've also been diagnosed with dyslexia as well. So obviously that's causing, I guess, some of the issues you experience, or most of the majority of issues you experience, are kind of reading challenges. So when were you given the OrCam Learn? When did you start using it?
I started using the OrCam Learn about 3 years ago. at that point, I was running my own blog, and OrCam approached me and said, "Look, we see that you're an undergraduate with the Open University, and you also blog. Would you like to try out our new OrCam Read that we're putting on the market? We're mainly advertising it for visually impaired people, but we want to see how it aids people with learning difficulties like dyslexia." So I said, yes, I'll give it a try. So they sent the device to me, and I started, being a social scientist, started experimenting with lots of different things. What can it read? What can't it read? So experimenting with my computer, different fonts, books. I mean, I've got one book called The Dyslexic Adult in a Non-Dyslexic World, and one of the things that this book does is it has lots of font changes where it goes from maybe a 6mm to a 3mm to bold. So I was trying it out on that, and I noticed that the OrCam had no problem whatsoever with just reading through everything. So it made a huge difference to me. To was like, oh right, that's actually a great thing. And then of course I also love cooking, so I tried it out in all my recipe books.
Because it
Can't
reads all
help
the
it.
amount. It reads all the amounts as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whereas the scanning pen, it sometimes gets confused if it's got fluent ounces. It doesn't know what fluent ounces is. It just says 30G instead of 30 grams. So you're going like, what's 30G whilst you're listening to it? Whereas the OrCam will say 30 grams, 2 kilograms if it's abbreviated. So it knows all the abbreviations as well, such as ounces. It doesn't say OZ. You're like, what's OZ?
It's so
So
such a clever piece of kit, isn't it? Really. So
yeah.
I really wanted to know, like before you had the OrCam, Susie, how were you getting over some of these difficulties with reading you experienced?
Well, actually, I mean, I knew I had reading difficulties, so I'd sit with a ruler and
Okay.
go line by line. Also the finger, but before I even realised about that, I would just sit for hours. I could sit and read the same page for hours and actually not realise that's what I'm doing. So OrCam changed that for me quite a bit, because I'd be like, all right, and I started finding I could retain information a bit better, not having a working memory through my identification. I was like, I can see where I'm having difficulties. And then, of course, you've got your bad days, whereas OrCam, you go like, okay, I can cope a bit better with OrCam, whereas in the past it would be falling asleep with the book fastest plastered to the face, sort of like because you've just nodded off with it because your working memory just goes, that's it. Oh, goodbye. No, I've not had any more. So
So your learning style, would you say you're multi-sensory? Are you an auditory learner? What's your preference in terms of learning, or what works
my,
for you?
I use a multi-sensory approach. So, I use assistive technology, I use color coding stuff whilst I'm going through my textbooks with my OrCam. If there's stuff that I think that's important, I can stop the OrCam, go over it a few times, and just highlight the areas that I'm wanting, because I can't proofread. I can't, just instantly skim to where I think that I need that information. I need to read things over and over again till so it makes my life a bit simpler, not having to do that all the time. It's just sort of like, yeah, that's
So it speeds up that whole reading process for you as well. And I guess the fatigue factor is not as apparent when you're using it. You're able to work for longer, do you find as well?
yeah, I'm actually able to work for longer now. I mean, I used to have days where, my brain just could not switch on, where with using OrCam now, I've got a longer concentration. You know, I still use the Pomodoro technique, so sort of take so much time to study, then take a break, then go back to studying. But, you know, that has increased quite a bit since I started with the Open University, because I think the first year of my Open University, and that was when they approached me about trying the read.
Yeah.
I spent most of my time sort of wondering, what am I doing? It's like, and then of course it's great when they put things like, it will take you 5 hours to now read it 2 or 3 times, and that's going to take you 5 hours. Takes me 5 hours just to read it in the first place. So try trebling that, or, you know, 10, 15, 20 hours worth, you know, where they're saying it's 5. It doesn't work like that for me. You know, it's
Yeah.
like 3, 4 times the amount of time. So OrCam has cut that down for me quite a bit. So it does make a difference.
Because like obviously you're studying in higher education, of course, and my experience of being a DSA needs assessor, reading is key, isn't it, to any kind